Today we're going to talk about how to get rich with the VA loan this year. And I know it's probably like some of you are like, oh my gosh, is it any different this year than it has been in the past? No, not really. I mean, don't get me wrong, the VA loan limits did change a year and a half ago, and people still don't understand that you have no limit right now. But I just want to talk about a couple different points, a couple different ways that you can use the VA loan to really focus on building wealth this year. All right, obviously, my favorite way, and the first way we're going to talk about, is house hacking with the VA loan. Now, I know you've probably heard me talk about this a million times. It's because it works. I have seen, because of the no limits thing right now, I've seen a service member be able to buy as much as a $1.93 million duplex where they were able to live in one half, rent the other half. The other half paid for a very large chunk of their mortgage. BAH covered the rest with some left over. And then when they move out, it'll cash flow. And it's on, that one's on Venice Beach. So that thing is absolutely, in my opinion, going to keep going up in value over time. But I mean, I've seen fourplexes over $1 million. I've seen fourplexes under $200,000. I've seen duplexes under $100,000. I mean, like any price range you put it at, I think house hacking is the best way to jump into the real estate game for a couple of reasons. And I've talked about this before, but so we'll just go quickly. The first is that buying an investment can seem somewhat scary, but buying a house usually is not so much. There's not as much internal chaos or external chaos because you've kind of grown up on this, like go to school, get a job, have a family, buy a house, yada yada yada. And so people will support you in buying a house much more than they would support you on a risky investment, even if the investment is a house. And so house hacking, like buying a fourplex, you're still buying a house for yourself. And it also it does actually mitigate risk because you need a place to live anyway. And so let's say it's going to cost you $1,000 for that place to live. Well, if it costs you $1,000 to live somewhere, but if you have $1,000 that you have to spend to live anywhere, and that money is going into the, fourplex, if you're able to live almost for free, and you don't have to pay that $1,000, now you're saving that $1,000 that you would have been spending anyway. I mean, even if you have to spend that $1,000 every now and then on like fixing a toilet or a water heater or maintenance or whatever, you would have been spending that anyway to live somewhere. So like the risk is minimal because you had to spend that money anyway to live somewhere anyway. It's also less scary because it's not an investment. I mean, it is, but it's not like an out-of-state rental property. You're buying a house for yourself. You get to learn how to be a landlord. You're saving that money. You can reinvest that money you're saving or put it into cash reserves or whatever. When you move out, that house, if you bought it right, will pay you to own it. And so you're building this wealth long term, building this wealth while also learning all these things, landlording and rules and regulations and tenant screening and hiring a property manager and budgeting and repairs and maintenance and CapEx and all these things that go into real estate. And then you move out. You PCS, whatever, you go to another location, or maybe your family's growing because you had a kid or whatever, and you can do it again. And so you can literally, like, I have a friend who's bought 4 different duplex, triplex, fourplex house hacks with the VA loan, and he could probably be financially free off just that, and he's continuing to invest a lot in real estate, so there's a lot of different options there. So that's one way. Another is like the VA renovation loan, or even if you don't use the renovation loan, you just find something that's a little bit outdated. So you have to use the VA loan, it has to be a house that you can move into, it has to be move-in ready, it has to be safe, it has to be secure, it has to be something that you can inhabit right now, but it doesn't have to be modern. And so you could buy a 40, 50, 60-year-old house with the VA loan as long as it's safe and ready to move into, and then you can absolutely take time, doing DIY or whatever to update it. And so you could remodel the kitchen while you live there, or repaint things, or just tweak, just paint the cabinets and tweak the poles on them, or whatever you need to do in order to make the house more modern, more updated, which brings the value of the home up because people like updated homes more than they like outdated homes. You could also do like my buddy Chris has done. He's done 2 purchases that are probably both gonna net him $500,000. The first one did. The second one And he's buying like super high-end homes, like luxury house, in a great location where the market's going and appreciation is going. The first one was in Colorado, the second one's in this area in Texas. The market's going up and the value's going up, and they're in great location, high demand properties. And then he's buying them at a discount, and then with the market demographics, trending towards helping him out with that area. And obviously appreciation is a little bit of a risk, and he's not bringing in like cash flow while he's living there because he's not renting out bedrooms or other units, but he's able to arbitrage that risk because he's building up more equity in this home, and he's buying, updating it and whatever. And these are nice quality homes that are really cool to live in, and he's going to do very well. So you've got a couple strategies right there: house hacking, buying an outdated home and updating it, buying a large home in an appreciating area that could use some updates to make it really nice. You could also buy like a 4 or 5 bedroom house and rent bedrooms. That's another form of house hacking. If you're in somewhere like San Diego, you could add like a accessory dwelling unit, ADU, or like a mother-in-law suite or something like that, like an extra guest house to really boost that value. There's a couple different ways. I mean, really the premise for how to get rich with the VA loan is pretty simple. Use it to buy a property that could in some way, shape, or form be an investment, either while you're there or once you leave or once you sell. Don't use it to buy a house just because you want to live in that house, right? So unless it's going to be like your forever home. I mean, if it's going to be your forever home, maybe, but if you're still active duty military and moving around, unless you're going to come back there, probably not. So the way to do this is to buy something that you can increase the value to, or something that needs, like, you could use the renovation loan on something that needs like a total gut rehab, or a house hack, or a big house with bedrooms you could rent out to friends that you can then sell down the road. All sorts of ways to do this, but you have to be intentional about what you buy. Good location, good opportunity for appreciation, good things coming into the neighborhood, low crime, like a desirable place to live where you're going to have good tenants, and you're going to be able to sell the place, and you reasonably think it's going to continue to increase in value long term. And then what you want to do is you want to buy it and hold on to it. You don't want to refinance a million times. I mean, maybe if you can refinance at some point and reuse that capital to reinvest elsewhere, whatever, or you just let it ride, because that 30-year fixed rate, low interest, long-term debt is extremely beneficial, especially in a higher inflation market like we see right now. And so lots of lots of opportunities there to get rich with the VA loan. I know this is pretty just down dirty. Do you like let me know in the comments if you guys like the casual, just chilling, like just having a conversation about this, as opposed to like formatted bullet points or reading off the teleprompter or whatever, where I'm standing and a little bit more energetic, but it's more structured and less just casual conversation. So let me know what you guys prefer. Lots of opportunities out there for using the VA loan. And if you got questions on it, let me know. But it also, hit me up. There's a link that'll be down below. We have a ton of recommended agents and lenders across the country. Happy to make introductions to you with people who actually understand how to build wealth and invest with the VA loan so that you can get taken care of. Make sure you like and subscribe if you got something out of this video. Have a great day.